Hi, my name is Michael Spencer and I am a UX designer. That's actually kind of interesting for me to say because I've had something of a varied career from my very earliest work experience as a wine waiter and a museum steward right through being a radio and a nightclub DJ. I once represented all the accessibility needs of disabled students across the entire country of Wales. And then I became a sales professional and an account manager, managing accounts like Coca-Cola and ASOS. I've now turned my hand to UX design. That doesn't mean I wasn't always thinking of design. In my spare time, I like to 3D model and 3D print and design things around my house to make life easier. But this is a skill that I've always wanted to try, and it's a skill I think I'm developing and getting quite good at. So I would like to show off my second project to you. My first project I did as part of Intro to UX Design, and that was a language learning app. And since then, I've been immersing myself in the UX world, and I've developed and designed and user tested and preference tested and peer reviewed what I think is a fantastic health, fitness, and wellness app. So please let me take you on this journey. So here we are. The app is downloaded and we've opened it up and we're ready to go. Now, if this was any other app, I might skip onboarding because no one needs to see us selecting all the minutiae of these are the exact sports I want to take part in. These are the issues I want to measure. What we want is something that can do it for us. So I've designed Metrix in a way where it can do that for you. And it's still got the traditional onboarding methods for accessibility purposes. But we'll get onto that as we go. So when we're going through the app, we've got coach marks that explain things and explain this unique onboarding system. And I felt that this was necessary because there are three options to set up this app. There is the purely manual way. There is the setup wizard, if you like, which is the standard setup. But we also have here the automatic setup, and that's the real magic of what Metrix does. So let's skip the tutorial and get right to that. So here we are. We're on what will become the home screen, and we're looking at the three different options to set up. Now, we've talked about those, but we're going to go directly to automatic setup. Now, automatic setup uses the power of AI to actually build this dashboard for you. You tell it in simple human terms exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you want. And when you do that, AI will think about it and say, okay, this person wants to track their blood pressure. This person is interested in monitoring their sleep. And it will create a home dashboard specifically for that. So because this is so new and so different, I actually created a small animation here to explain the sort of things that the user could say, either through a voice first input or by typing directly. In this case, we're going to type. So I'm going to say that I'm tired and irritable and I want to eat better. And let's see what the app comes up with. So of course it's going to take a little time to process that, but then it's going to show us the brand new dashboard. Here it is. And we can have a look at that and see, yeah, actually monitoring my steps, that's always useful. Seeing how I sleep, that's exactly what I asked for, and monitoring what I eat, fantastic. So I am going to confirm these changes. And here we are. The customization is complete and we get the standard walkthrough of the home screen and all the elements within it. So now we're on the home screen. I'd like to talk a little bit about this kind of app. And when developing Metrix, I did a substantial amount of competitor research, and that all apps seem to be the same. They have the cards on the screen here. You can click on them and they will give you more details and more metrics of that particular item that's being tracked. And certainly you can do that here. But what these apps don't do is they don't bring it together. And that is what makes my app, Metrix, so powerful. Now, as you will see from the screen, there's a flashing bulb there. And that is quite important. The user would have been given a notification. They'd have opened their app, they'll see it, and then there is this flashing light. And what can that be? So clicking on that, we're brought to our sidebar where we have the various different insights that Metrix has come up with. Now, here's a previous one, but we're going to focus on this new one, which is the thing that's making the light bulb flash in the first place. It's detected a poor sleep pattern, and that's because it's found a link between the amount of steps that a user makes and the amount of sleep and deep sleep they take. So we're going to delve into that and see how we can explore this data and what information we can glean from it. So we click on that and we're brought to a fairly standard AI interface. We've got the history of insights at the bottom here, which we can scroll through. And the AI is telling us exactly what happened. It reviewed the last month's sleep and found something interesting. The deep sleep remains quite your deep sleep relies quite a bit on how active you are before sleeping. And it pulls that information together. And notice here the tone. I think there's a gap in the market because these kind of apps are either incredibly gamified, think of something like Headspace, or incredibly analytical, think of the big players like Google Fit. There's nothing in the middle that is caring and compassionate and talks to people like people, says it's okay to miss today's calorie target or step count. It's okay. It's natural. You've been stressed. And so that's the tone of language that Metrix always tries to keep with its user. So the app has told us that this is going on, but as the user, I really want to know why, and I want to know more. So I will click and I will type and ask it. I'll say that's interesting. Can I see what's made it think that? So I'll send that. And it comes back almost immediately that Oxford University also did a study on this. And there's a clickable link here, which will take you to the study and the web page. And they found this link also. And then it also creates a chart for the user. So the user can see exactly tracked their sleep versus steps on this chart. So the user's seen this and wants to ask more. So are you saying that if I walk more, I can sleep better? And the AI will come back with a good action plan for that and say, yeah, I think actually it would be beneficial to your health to have a 30-minute walk before you go to bed. That would be really beneficial. So maybe you should try that. And would you like me to help you plan it? And of course, the user doesn't have to say yes. But if they did, then that would then be built within the app. So I'm sure you'll agree, this level of insight and linking these different metrics together is incredibly powerful and could be incredibly useful to anybody that's trying to live a healthier and better life. We all know when we've used this app there's a lot of manual data entry. And sure, smartwatches are great, and you can link your smartwatch with this app. But there's always that manual element. You've eaten an apple and you need to log how many calories were in that apple. Well, first, that's a Google search to try and find out exactly how many calories are in a Granny Smith apple. But what if there was a better way? And what if we could do that in a more streamlined way that could help people to log that data? Because in my user research, I found that logging data manually was a huge point of friction to the user. So what if you could just say, I had a medium-sized Granny Smith apple, and it would go, okay, that's great. Thank you for telling me that. That's got this many calories and this many nutrients of all the different types. And it logs it for you, time and date stamped. Wouldn't that be a better way to do something? And that's why I developed my logging system. And I thought a little bit beyond that, because when we're measuring health, we're not only measuring the things we eat, but we're measuring the whole holistic side of health as well, our whole body. And so if we visit a doctor and a doctor gives you does some scans and or a blood pressure test in the case of this example, and finds out that there's an issue and gives you a piece of paper with that data on it, why can't we give that data to the app? And why can't the app process that data? Well, of course it can, and it should. And that's what we're doing here. So if I was in the app and I had just been to the doctor and the doctor had told me that, yeah, sadly, you've got high blood pressure, you need to start taking steps to monitor that. Well, this is how I would handle it here. So I would click on logging and come to this screen. And I can see here I've got the option of typing directly or uploading something. And I'm going to upload because I had a letter from the doctor. The doctor measured my blood pressure and gave me a letter for it. So I'm going to click that, and I am going to capture that image on my phone. And here we go. Snap. I've captured it. Now, I could always simply upload the file as well. Here. So I can see that file. Yep, that's what I want. Yep, it's got all the data I need. So I'm going to simply upload it. I upload it, the AI processes it, and tells me about it. And it keeps that caring and compassionate tone of voice. It says it's read the letter, it's logged it, and it's suggesting that it could add a card to the dashboard to monitor blood pressure. Now that's great. So the user's going to respond to that. Yes, please. I would like you to add that card to the dashboard. So we're going to do that. Perfect. It's added it. And we go home and we can see the dashboard now contains a blood pressure card. As easy as that. So I hope you've enjoyed my little tour of my health and fitness app prototype. This has been a long journey for me, learning about usability testing and user interviews and prototyping. I started with pencil sketches all the way through low, mid and high-end, high fidelity wireframes. I've, as I said, taken it through usability testing, and I have taken it through preference testing to find the best look for this app. I have gone through accessibility, and I have used AI to look over the app and make sure all the contrast is right, all the text is a reasonable size, everything is readable, and everything can serve everyone, because an accessible product is good not just for the people that require the accessibility, but for everyone. I've then peer reviewed it, I've packaged it and delivered it to the developers. This has been a great journey for me and a huge learning process, but it's not the end. There are things that I believe Metrix can do more. Wouldn't it be great if it could link in with those big players that we talked about at the beginning? It could have that Google Fit integration. Wouldn't it be great if it started looking at stress and mental well-being as well as physical well-being? So all of these things would come together and could make this such a powerful tool. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for your patience and watching through to the end. And I will happily answer any questions you have in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you on the next project.